So, welcome back, guys, to this Snowflake administration series. I was not well since a couple of weeks, so I stopped recording the videos. So today I'm feeling well, little bit. So, starting a new project, which is called a Snowflake ETL pipeline. Okay, going to create a pipeline from AWS S3 to Snowflake. So basically, we're going to create a Snowpipe, which will automatically ingest data from AWS S3 to Snowflake. So this is the basic you can expect from any interviewer, like how you are going to create the storage integration object. Tell me the syntax of Snowpipe. Okay. So this is the sample diagram that I have created for you guys, which I'm going to share this in the description. Or I'm going to create a GitHub account and I'm going to share these PPTs and documents, whatever I prepared for you. Okay. So the data that is coming from any of the system like APIs or MySQL databases, whenever data is coming to S3. So I'll create a separate video for that, like how from MySQL to Snowflake you're going to do the migration. So that kind of questions you can expect. So doing that project, it will also help. Okay. It's asking to save the file. Let it be. Then we're going to create the S3 bucket, and for that S3 to access, we're going to create the IAM role, and then in Snowflake we're going to create the integration object, and then stage table, and kind of simple transformation we're going to do it. So this is the flow. So what are the prerequisites? Like you must have AWS account, Snowflake account, and SnowSQL CLI, AWS CLI. We will cover it using UI option. No worries. So let's directly jump onto the documentation part. So this is how the flow is going to be. If you can Google it, Snowflake documentation, how you can configure the storage integration object to access the AWS S3 bucket. This is how the representation diagram. It is the official documentation of Snowflake. So from S3 bucket, we're going to create the AWS role. That is what we discussed. And this AWS role have the privileges to access this S3 bucket as well as to integrate with the external stage object. Okay. So you can go through these brief descriptions. But in short, I'm trying to cover it uh, within 30 minutes so that we can do the practical as well as theoretical sessions. So these are the access controls that we need for any of the S3 buckets. We need to have get bucket location, get object version, and list bucket. These permissions are required for that IAM role. Okay. So IAM policy we are going to create. So this is the JSON policy we are going to attach it. This is how you are going to create the IAM role. So documentation is pretty explanatory. You can go through the document and implement it. Then in the Snowflake part, storage integration object you need to create. Here, whatever the role we are going to create, we are going to give this ARN number of that role and storage allowed location like S3 bucket and subfolders. You can give it, and then you can create the pipe or anything, Snowpipe or manually you can do the copy. So this is how stage is going to create, and we are going to create some sample tables. Okay. So this is the documentation. Plus, I have prepared the document for you. So let me show you the document as well. So this is the document that I prepared for you guys. This I'm going to attach it in description or in the GitHub. So as we discussed, these are the prerequisites. I have created some sample videos for creating the AWS account and Snowflake account. You can go and check that as well. Now, for this project, we need JSON files, or you can create one CSV file and do it. But I found it easier like creating the JSON files. So anyway, like you can go to ChatGPT or anywhere in the Google and download two JSON files. One will upload it, and second will trigger it through Snowpipe. So this is how you're going to create the JSON files. So I created some sample JSON files here, user data 1 and user data 2. So that I will show you. Okay. So let us follow the document and UI as well. Okay. So these two files I have created. Like you can copy paste and create the two batch files. Okay, JSON files. Now we need to create the S3 bucket and we need to upload one JSON file. Second, we'll test it for the SQS like notification objects and Snowpipe. Okay. So let me create the uh, S3 bucket first. We'll check practical as well. So once you log into AWS, you'll see this screen. I need to cover it under 30 minutes. So recently visited, it is showing here, or from search bar you can search for S3. So let me open S3. Okay, create bucket, general purpose bucket name. It should be the unique bucket name. Okay, Snowflake S3 demo 28 2025. So rest of the option I will exclude it for now. You can directly go and create the bucket. Okay, it would throw an error if the bucket name is not the unique. Okay, across the globe, it is across the globe. Okay, so let me go back to Snowflake bucket. Here you can create the subfolders or you can have upload the files directly. Okay, so let me upload the file here. User data 1. So I have uploaded the files. Okay, to S3 bucket. Now I'm going to create the IAM role. So we'll follow the documentation. It should be the second point, IAM policy and rows. Let it be, I will correct it. Let us jump back to our AWS account. Here it is IAM. I'm going to show you some shortcuts as well. So first I'm going to create the role here. Okay, you can click on create role. Service, we wanted it for S3. Okay, next we need S3 bucket, whatever the configuration option it is mentioned here. We need these kinds of access for that role, so we'll do it later. Okay, just create the role first. Using JSON policy, I'm going to attach it. Snowflake demo role. Okay, create the role. Role has been created. Now I'm going to add the permissions for this role. Okay, click on add permissions, create inline policy. Okay, select JSON. So what you needed? S3 you needed. Okay, you can create S3 and inside actions, whatever it is required. So we wanted get bucket location, get object version, and list bucket. So these are the enough permissions. Okay, for that role. So get object, get object is the one, get object version, get object version list bucket. What is this? Get bucket location. List bucket is also required. So these four are required. Okay. Now we needed resources as well. Click on resource S3, first bucket. What is the bucket name? You can copy paste bucket name from here also. Add resource. Plus we wanted it for whatever the subfolders, like objects are there inside that bucket. So for object also you can create it. Object, if there is any subfolder, like what that is what I discussed here, instead of putting user data, you can create folders here, like folder has been created and inside that you can do it for user data, for match or anything. You can do that analysis. So for now I haven't created the objects here, so directly you can give the bucket name here and make it star. So whatever the objects inside that bucket, this IAM role will give the permissions to that integration object basically. Okay, so I'm going to add the resource here. So this is it. You can create the role now. Policy name SNF demo S3 policy. Okay, the policy has been created. So this trust policy, like whatever it is, like s3 amazon.com, this account trust it for that. Okay, now this AWS part is done. Few part is remaining, which we'll cover in the next part. Okay, so now first of all, log in into Snowflake. This is the UI. It is the most updated UI. Like you have a couple of options you got. So now I'm going to create workbook only. This is what I'm pretty comfortable with SQL. Not in notebook. Notebook is also the great feature, but let us try in this only. Okay, so what is completed? We have created this JSON files. Then we have created S3 bucket. We have created role for that. Now we're going to create the database in the Snowflake. We're going to create the schema, and then we're going to create the table as well. Okay, we guys need to copy paste the commands. That is the feasible option. I'm not going to type it. So we have the commands here available to create the database and all of these things. Okay, so I'm going to copy paste these commands. Schema is missing here, which I will create here. Let me execute it. Database has been created. Let me use the database so that schema and tables will be created under that database only. Let me create the schema. Schema has been created. Let me create the table. Table has been created. Okay. Now file format is required. We're going to create the file format. Do not worry, I will share these commands with you. File format has been created. Next is storage integration object. Okay. So here a role ARN you need to give it. So if you go into this, whatever the role that you have created, so you can see ARN number here for this particular bucket. Okay, I can give it here. And storage allowed me, you can give your S3 bucket name. Now you can create the integration object. Okay, S3 integration object has been created successfully. Now next step is remember I showed I wanted to see the trust relationship. So describe the storage integration object. You will see here role ARN plus external ID. So these two things are required in the mm, JSON policy, which will useful in the trust policy. So basically this role, it is getting a trust relationship between S3 role and storage integration. Okay, so this storage integration created based on the role ARN plus S3 bucket. Okay, so this is role ARN created by uh, our Snowflake, and external ID is created by our Snowflake. So this is how it is going to build the trust relationship between S3 and uh, Snowflake. So let me copy paste this trust relationship. I have it copied. So this is again, you can find it on the documentation. Here you need to give user role ARN and external ID. So user role ARN and external ID. Done. You can update the policy. That's it. Now you can create the stage, and inside that stage you can list it whatever the file is available. Let us test it. Okay, This is the bucket name. Just need to take it. Stage has been created. Now inside this database you can see it. This is the schema. Inside that you will see the table and stages also. So if you go to this stage, you can enable the directory table access, and here you will see that JSON file which we placed it will be, you are able to see the data basically in the Snowflake, whatever I have put it in the S3 bucket. Okay, so first part is done. Okay, let me go back to that worksheet. I showed you using that UI option, or you can use the command to list it. You're able to see the user data one JSON. Okay, now next thing is we're going to create the Snowpipe so that automatic ingestion should happen. Like whenever the user put any of the user, like any bucket, inside the bucket any file, you will able to see that instantly in the Snowflake. Okay, so let me create the pipe. Pipe has been created. So describe pipe is the command. Okay, to see pipe, and pipe name is, so this ARN is required in order to build the SQS. Like this ARN number is important to basically you should see the notification channel using SQS. Okay, we're going to set up one event notification so that every time user pushes something onto S3 bucket, it should notify Snowflake through the event notification. We'll create that as well. Okay, so let us create it first. Okay, go to your S3 bucket. This is my S3 bucket. Properties, event notification. Here we are going to create the event notification. Give it a name, Snowflake event notification. You can give all of these are options. So when it will trigger, whenever somebody put the object, post something, copy, anything related to object, it is going to trigger it. Okay, now here like destination should be SNS topic. Enter the SNS URL or SQSQ, I think. So this is required. Let me put this URL here. Let us see if this works. Okay, it worked. So you need to select that SQS option. That is it. So now let's see the magic. So for now there isn't anything in the pipe. Let me refresh it. Check if data is arrived or not. Okay, it is taking some time. Wait for 10-20 seconds. It will come. Let me run it again. You'll be able to see the user data. Okay, file name is user data, and these names and IDs are there. Okay, now see the magic now. Okay, whenever I push something into S3 bucket, it will automatically come into that table, whatever we have created. Okay, let me go inside this bucket and push the file, add a file, user data 2, upload. So till now you see only 3 records. Now there are 2 records in this file, user data 2. You will see that data as well. So this is the magic of integration between S3 bucket to Snowflake. Okay. Now it should see 5 records. Now it is 3 only. Wait for some time. These are the 5 records. The sync is happening. You can see all the data. You can execute the above command, or you can use this command as well. See, from user data to you're seeing this data. Let me do this. It is showing authentic. Earlier you saw 3 records only, now 5 records. So whenever somebody pushes it to that bucket, okay, any data, it is going to put it into Snowflake. Okay. Now the transformation, if you want, you can do it. Like you wanted to transfer this data to some other table, you can do it. Okay, I'll share that script as well. Okay, so that is it, guys. I think we have covered it within the time. If not, I'm sorry. So that's it. Let us see in the next chapter, next tutorial, where we are going to do the migration of data. Okay, from MySQL database, it is going to be on premises. Basically, we're going to use the Azure database, Azure platform basically, and we're going to create one instance where we are going to deploy MySQL, and we treat it as a on-premises database. Okay, and from this MySQL, we're going to migrate the complete database to Snowflake. So this is the next project we're going to implement it. Thank you. Bye bye.